Warrior. There is a kind of wisdom you don't find in books, podcasts, or classrooms. It only comes after thousands of mornings, after victories that didn't feel like victories, after losses that changed you, after realizing that time keeps moving whether you are ready or not. And here's the truth. Most people discover far too late. They spent years chasing what didn't matter while ignoring what did. We grow up believing we have unlimited tomorrows. So we delay our dreams. We tolerate the wrong people. We abuse our bodies. We silence our truth. We tell ourselves, one day I'll live the life I really want. But one day turns into years, and years turn into regret. Most people don't wake up at 73 wishing they worked more. They wish they lived more, loved more, tried more, chose themselves more. And what's tragic is this: the lessons that could have saved them decades of pain were simple. Not easy, but simple. So simple that they were ignored, until life forced them to pay attention. But you are here right now, which means you don't have to learn the hard way. You don't have to waste half your life before you wake up. You can claim the wisdom today if you're brave enough to hear it. This is not entertainment. This is a warning. This is a wake-up call. This is Stoic Iron Man, speaking directly to the part of you that knows you are meant for more. These are not soft lessons. These are battle-tested truths forged by time, regret, discipline, and survival. Truths that separate those who merely exist from those who actually live. So don't scroll. Don't drift. Lock in. Because what you hear next could save you years of suffering and push you toward the life you were meant to build. If you're done wasting time, prove it. Type in the comments, "I claim my wisdom today." Now, let's begin. Number 1. You were never behind. You were just comparing. Warrior. One of the greatest traps in modern life is the illusion of falling behind. You look around and it feels like everyone else is winning. Someone your age owns a house. Someone else just got promoted. Someone else is getting married, having kids, starting businesses, traveling the world. And there you are, questioning your timeline, doubting your progress, wondering if you missed your moment. But listen carefully. There is no universal clock for success. There is no master schedule that says by this age you must have this, and by that age you must become that. That story was sold to you, and believing it is slowly draining your peace. Comparison turns life into a race that never ends, because there will always be someone ahead of you in something. More money, more status, more followers, more achievements. But what you don't see are their doubts, their regrets, their struggles, their private battles. You are comparing your behind the scenes with someone else's highlight reel, and then wondering why you feel like you're losing. Here is the Stoic truth. You are not late to your own life. A man who finds his purpose at 50 is not behind. A woman who rebuilds after failure at 40 is not late. A warrior who wakes up at 30 and decides to change everything is not starting over. He is starting correctly. Marcus Aurelius warned us not to measure our lives by other people's paths. He taught that peace comes from focusing on what is within your control, your effort, your discipline, your character, not where someone else happens to be standing. Nature never compares. A mountain doesn't rush because a river moves faster. A tree doesn't panic because another tree grows taller. Everything grows in its own season. So do you. But comparison steals your presence. It makes you resent where you are instead of using where you are. It keeps you stuck in self-doubt instead of forward motion. So here is your mental discipline. When you catch yourself comparing, stop, take a breath, and ask one powerful question. What can I do today to move forward, even one step? Not next year, not after conditions improve. Today, Your only real competition is who you were yesterday. Beat that person consistently, and your life will transform. You don't need to be ahead of others. You only need to be aligned with your own growth. Your pace is not weakness. Your pace is precision. Stop apologizing for where you are. Use it. Build from it. Rise from it. You are not behind. You are becoming. If this truth hits you, write it down in the comments. My pace is my power. Number 2, the people around you shape the life you live. Warrior. This lesson destroys more dreams than failure ever could. You can have talent, discipline, ambition, and vision. But if you stay surrounded by the wrong people, your potential will suffocate. Too many warriors stay loyal to people who are comfortable, not supportive, familiar, not healthy, history, not destiny. They keep shrinking themselves to fit into old friendships. They keep explaining dreams to people who secretly hope they fail. They keep accepting is respect because they fear being alone. But here is the brutal truth. Not everyone who starts the journey with you is meant to finish it with you. Some people are lessons, some are seasons, some are chapters, not the whole book. And when you cling to expired relationships, you delay your evolution. Epictetus taught that character is shaped by environment. Your thoughts, habits, courage, and confidence are constantly influenced by who you allow close to you. If you spend your time with people who complain, you learn to complain. People who settle, you learn to settle. People who avoid responsibility, you learn to avoid responsibility. But if you spend your time with people who grow, you grow. People who take action, you take action. People who hold standards, you rise to meet them. Energy is contagious. Some people don't hate you. They just hate who you become when you stop being like them. And when you start changing, you will feel resistance, not always direct, sometimes subtle. Jokes that diminish your goals, silence when you share good news, support that disappears when growth begins. That is not coincidence. That is misalignment revealing itself. Protecting your energy is not arrogance. It is self-respect. And no, this doesn't mean attacking people or creating drama. It means choosing distance instead of destruction, boundaries instead of bitterness, growth instead of guilt. Here's a simple but powerful exercise. Write down the names of the 5 people you interact with most, next to each name. Write how you usually feel after being around them, energized or drained, inspired or doubtful, calm or stressed. Your answers will tell you everything. You cannot build a powerful future while swimming in environments that reward weakness. And if your circle gets smaller while your standards get higher, you are on the right path. Solitude is not failure. Sometimes it is preparation. Better to walk alone in truth than surrounded by people who keep you trapped in old versions of yourself. Your circle should protect your growth, not poison it. Choose wisely. Your future is listening to who you listen to. If you're done giving your energy to the wrong people, say it. No more energy vampires. Number 3, your health is your foundation, not a side quest. Warrior. Most people treat their bodies like machines they can abuse forever. They trade sleep for work. They trade movement for comfort. They trade nutrition for convenience. They trade long-term health for short-term pleasure. And then one day, the bill arrives. Pain that doesn't leave. Energy that never returns. Doctors' visits replacing gym visits. Limitations replacing freedom. And the cruel truth? Most of it was preventable. People think wealth is money, but when health disappears, nothing else matters. You can't enjoy success when you're exhausted. You can't enjoy freedom when you're in pain. You can't enjoy relationships when your body is breaking down. Seneca warned that people protect their money with discipline, but waste their health with carelessness. as if time will repair what neglect destroys. But time doesn't heal neglect, it multiplies it. Your body keeps score, every skipped workout, every poor habit, every night of ignored rest, not to punish you, but to remind you that discipline today prevents suffering tomorrow. And here's what most people need. Understand until it's too late. You don't rise to your goals. You fall to the level of your physical energy. Your confidence, mood, discipline, focus, and resilience are deeply tied to how you treat your body. Movement is not optional. Sleep is not weakness. Nutrition is not vanity. These are survival skills in a demanding world. And no, you don't need perfection. You need consistency. Drink more water, walk more, lift something heavy, eat real food. Sleep when your body asks for it, not someday, today. Your future self is either going to thank you or curse you. This body is the only home you will ever live in. Respect it, train it, protect it, not for appearance, for strength, for longevity, for freedom. Because the greatest power is not dominance over others. It is mastery over yourself. If you're ready to treat your body like the weapon it is, declare it. I treat my body like gold. Number 4. Silence is a form of power. Most people never learn. Warrior, weak minds react. Strong minds respond. Elite minds sometimes choose silence. Most people feel the need to defend themselves, explain themselves, justify themselves, prove themselves. They argue online. They escalate conflict. They speak when they are emotional. They reveal everything they think. And then they wonder why they lose respect, why situations get worse, why they regret what they said. Silence is not weakness. Silence is control. It means you are not ruled by impulse. It means your emotions do not own you. It means you choose your battles instead of being dragged into them. Marcus Aurelius wrote that mastery of the mind begins with restraint. If you can control your tongue, you can control your reactio. Ens. If you can control your reactions, you can control your life. Silence confuses those who want a reaction. Silence protects you from saying what cannot be taken back. Silence gives you time to see the truth instead of feeding the drama. Think about it. How many arguments could have ended sooner if you stopped talking? How many relationships could have been saved if you paused before responding? How many reputations were destroyed by words spoken in moments of anger? The strongest people are not the loudest. They are the calmest. They speak when it matters. They listen more than they talk. And when they do speak, people pay attention because they don't waste words. Here is discipline in action. Before you respond, ask, is this necessary? Is this useful? Will this improve the situation? If not, silence is strength. Not every insult deserves a reply. Not every opinion deserves your energy. Not every conflict deserves your presence. Sometimes the most powerful move is to walk away with dignity intact. Silence also means listening, truly listening, not waiting for your turn to speak. When you listen, you learn people's fears, motives, and intentions. You see what words try to hide. Power comes from awareness. The more you observe, the less you are manipulated. So train yourself. Pause, breathe. Choose your words with intention. Your mouth can create wars or build peace. Your silence can protect your future. Master it. Number 5. Your past does not own you. Your choices do. Warrior. Many people live as prisoners of memories. They introduce themselves by their wounds. They explain their limits with old pain. They justify inaction with past mistakes. They say, I can't because of what happened. I'm like this because of my childhood. I'll never succeed because I failed before. And without realizing it, they let yesterday steal tomorrow. But hear this clearly. Your past is information, not identity. What happened to you matters, but it does not get to decide who you become. You are not your mistakes. You are not your trauma. You are not your worst moment. You are the one who gets up after it. Epictetus was born into slavery, yet he taught kings how to live free, because freedom is not about circumstances, it is about mindset and response. You may not control what happened to you, but you control what happens next, and that is where your power lives. People waste decades blaming parents, partners, systems, and circumstances. And while blame feels justified, it also keeps you stuck. Responsibility is not about fault. It is about control. The moment you say, "This is my life, and I decide what comes next," you take your power back. Here is the hard truth. Healing begins when excuses end. Not denial, not pretending, but choosing growth over resentment. Your past can either become your anchor or your fuel. The same pain that breaks some people builds others. The difference is choice. So here is your discipline. Stop telling the old story. Start writing the new one. Instead of, "I am broken because," say, "I am stronger because." Instead of, "I can't because," say, "I choose to try anyway." You cannot change what happened, but you can absolutely change what it means. And meaning changes destiny. Your story is not finished, not even close. Number 6, time does not heal. Action heals. Warrior, this is one of the biggest lies ever told. Just give it time. Time does not heal wounds. Time only reveals whether you did the work or avoided it. People carry the same anger for 20 years, the same grief, the same bitterness, the same fear. Not because healing was impossible, but because healing was postponed. Pain ignored does not disappear. It mutates. It becomes anxiety. It becomes addiction. It becomes emotional distance. It becomes self-sabotage. Seneca said that courage is required to face suffering, not avoid it. And most people wait for pain to magically fade instead of confronting it directly. Healing requires effort, honest conversations, professional help, forgiveness, letting go, changing patterns. None of that happens by accident. Waiting is not healing. Avoidance is not healing. Distraction is not healing. Action is healing. And action is uncomfortable, but discomfort is the doorway to freedom. So here is your challenge. Identify one wound you've been avoiding, one conversation you've been postponing, one habit you know is harming you, and take one step this week, not next year, not when it feels easier. This week, courage now saves suffering later. And understand this, healing is not a straight line. You will fall back sometimes. That does not mean you failed. It means you are human. Progress is built through persistence, not perfection. Stop waiting for time to change you. Change yourself with intention. Number 7, you cannot live your dream without disappointing someone. Warrior, people-pleasing is a silent killer of destiny. It looks polite, it sounds kind, but it slowly erases who you are. You say yes when you mean no. You stay when you should leave. You choose paths that please others instead of fill you. And one day you wake up with a life that feels foreign. Here is the truth. If you choose your truth, some people will be uncomfortable. If you choose your growth, some people will feel threatened. If you choose your dreams, some people will feel abandoned. And you must accept that you are not responsible for managing everyone's emotions. Marcus Aurelius warned against living for approval, because approval is temporary, but regret is permanent. Parents may want one life for you. Friends may want you to stay the same. Society may want you to follow the script, but none of them will live with your regrets. You will, and the cost of betraying yourself is always higher than the cost of disappointing others. Here is discipline. Start with small acts of honesty. Say no when you need to. Set boundaries. Choose what aligns with your values. Yes, some people will not like it. Let them feel what they feel. Your life is not a democracy. It is your responsibility. You were not born to perform for approval. You were born to become who you were meant to be. And that requires courage. Number 8. Regret is heavier than failure. Warrior, failure stings. But it fades. Regret never does. People don't lie awake at night thinking about what they tried and failed at. They think about what they were too afraid to try. The business never started. The love never confessed. The dream never pursued. Fear said, wait, play it safe, don't risk it. And fear stole decades. Failure teaches. Rejection redirects. Embarrassment passes, but regret grows. It whispers, what if? You could have. You should have. And those words follow people to the end. Seneca said that most suffering is imagined. And he was right. The fear of failure is usually worse than failure itself. So here is the warrior's rule. Try, fail if necessary, but do not live wondering. Send the message, make the move, take the chance. Even if it doesn't work, you gain experience, confidence, and clarity. But if you never try, you gain nothing and lose time, and time is the one thing you can never earn back. Number 9. Happiness is not a T the finish line. Warrior, the biggest trap of success culture is this. I'll be happy when I make more money, when I reach this level, when I retire, when things calm down. But the finish line keeps moving, and life passes while you chase it. People sacrifice health, relationships, and joy for a future that never feels complete. They finally arrive and still feel empty, because happiness was never waiting at the destination. It was always in the moments they rushed through, in conversations, in simple meals, in laughter, in small victories. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily to stay in the present, because that is the only place life exists. Not in memories, not in plans. Now, happiness is not a reward. It is a practice, gratitude, presence, appreciation of ordinary moments. So here is your discipline. Each day, slow down at least once, notice something beautiful. Be fully present for one moment, because this moment is not rehearsal. This is the performance, and one day, this will all be memory. Live it while it's here. Warrior, if there is one truth that rises above all others, it is this. Do not waste your life waiting to live it. Do not wait to stop comparing. Do not wait to choose better people. Do not wait to protect your health. Do not wait to heal, to speak your truth, to chase your dreams, or to find joy. In the moments you are standing in right now, most people learn these lessons after decades of regret. You have learned them today, which means you still have time to act. Time is the one resource you can never recover. Once a moment passes, it is gone forever. So use this awareness. Let it sharpen you, not scare you. From this moment forward, choose with intention. Choose courage over comfort. Choose growth over fear. Choose action over excuses. Choose presence over postponing your happiness. This is not about perfection. This is about direction. And if you walk forward with discipline and self-respect, your future will not be built on regret. It will be built on strength. Thank you for standing with Stoic Iron Man. Thank you for choosing the warrior's path. If this message moved you, support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing this with someone who needs strength today.